My name is Florence Ozor. I am a Nigerian. I work in the energy sector in my country and I run a foundation. Politics. I would want to see women go actively into politics, and by politics I do not mean by appointments alone. Like to see women run for office so that they can be in a better position to effect more change as against just being, appointed into political offices, which is good in itself. But the time women start to participate actively in politics, then we would have more female traits in governance, which is one of the things that is critically missing. I think women should be actively involved in politics. We should have female governors in Nigeria. We should have a female president in Nigeria. We should have more representatives in the National Assembly who are women. Women have to become increasingly aware that for any change to be sustaining, political decision is critical to every change. At Florence Ozor Foundation, our primary objective is to inspire attitudinal change to foster prosperity on the continent. What we're dealing with is trying to influence the mindset of an average African, to be able to see beyond the immediate boundaries that you conceive in your mind or even in reality, to be able to extend your own borders, to be able to attain greatness that you yourself have defined for yourself. For women to ensure inclusiveness of women, a woman has to come into her own. She needs to understand that her being a woman is an incredible gift. She needs to come to the knowledge that there is no other person like her. She needs to understand that the world will be poorer if she wasn't in it. Having come into yourself, then you start to make impact. A woman who has come to realize her strengths, her flaws, her gifts, has no choice. It's almost natural for her to want to make a positive change. The more women are increasingly self-aware, the more they are going to participate in different spheres of life. In Nigeria, for instance, women are becoming increasingly aware of themselves. That's why you find a lot of women putting holes in the glass ceiling, The glass ceiling hasn't crashed yet. I think Hillary Clinton did a fantastic job in putting the biggest hole in that glass ceiling yet. The glass ceiling may not crash in our generation, but definitely the generation after us might simply just need to throw a stone. Because women everywhere in the world are doing every little thing to ensure that there's a bigger dent in the glass ceiling, to ensure that the world becomes a better place, because women have truly come into their own to know that they are critical ingredients of success if the world is going to thrive. What we have continued to do at the Florence Ozor Foundation is to dedicate enough resources of materials to issues that concern women. Because we realize that unless a woman is in tune with the realities around her and the strength that she has to overcome those realities, she'll probably not amount to much. We did run a campaign on domestic violence, which in my environment is a critical part of why women are not attaining as much as they should. The greatest danger about domestic violence is not even as much as the physical hurt that happens, which is bad in itself. It's the state of the mind when one is going through an abuse, or when one has gone through an abuse. It takes greater work even after the scars have healed. The scars of the heart still remains. So we try as much as possible to paint a picture of who a woman truly is, so that the more you look at this image of yourself, the more you begin to believe it. Once you have believed the best about yourself, it's only critical for you and only natural for you to start to do things that are positive to the environment and to your community and to your culture. Hillary Clinton. At the time when she lost the election to be president of the United States, and I think I was both in shock with the rest of the world. But what that woman has done is launched the biggest crack yet, ever, in that glass ceiling. What she has won is the revolution she has been able to cause in the hearts of women and girls everywhere in the world, who now know that they can aspire to be anything, they can walk to be anything, and they can actually be anything they desire to be. There is no longer a barrier to your imagination. She made sure of that. So a girl in Haiti can sit in that very poor community in her room and say, I can be president. I can be anything. Women around the world know more than ever that it's only a matter of time. Certainly the ceiling is gonna crash. And Hillary, in recent history, has made the most impact in ensuring that women anywhere in the world can be anything. I think the moment you realize that no matter how big your dreams are or how ambitious you are, the totality of what you want to achieve is not about you. Absolutely not about you. Then you find the strength to go the journey in spite of anything that comes your way, because it is not about you.